What's up, my YouTube family? I am excited for today's video because it is a part 2 of navigating restaurants and cafes in English. I had an overwhelming response from you guys last month when I uploaded part 1. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, you can click right here to watch it. And I was excited because it was something that I wasn't used to doing. I think it was the first video of its kind that I've ever done like this, but I realized that it is so important to know these things, especially if you are planning to visit America, or even just if you're moving to America, if you're living here, even if you're just curious, if you're watching movies and you're curious what some of these sayings actually mean when the actors are like in the restaurant or a cafe. I'm gonna explain it for you today. I think I have like about 5 that we're gonna go over, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first one that we're gonna go over is a question that is usually asked by the wait staff. So wait staff is like the waiter or waitress, and they often say this when they are referring to drinks or appetizers. So the question is, can I start you off with question mark dot dot dot? Can I start you off with dot dot dot? Fill in the blank, question mark, however you want to say it. This is the question that the waiter or waitress would typically ask you or the customer. And typically it's about drinks or appetizers because it's using the word start. So this is under the assumption that you have just sat down at the table, you haven't ate anything yet, you are new to the restaurant or the cafe, you haven't ordered your food yet. They are going to start you off with either a drink or an appetizer, right? The waiter could say, "Can I start you off with a drink?" And you might say, "Oh yes, I would love a Coke, please." Or, "Can I start you off with an appetizer?" And you might say, "Oh yes, I would love some chips and salsa." So that's how you would respond to this question. Can I start you off with dot dot dot? And anything can be said here, the dot dot dot. Typically though, it's drinks or appetizers because it's starting you off. You have yet to receive your food. You literally just got to the cafe or restaurant. You haven't ordered anything yet, so they are starting you off. Typically here in America, you start your meal with either a drink or an appetizer, all right? So can I start you off with So an example sentence of this is, "Hi there, can I start you off with something to drink?" Again, the waiter or waitress will be asking you, the customer, this question. "Hi there, can I start you off with something to drink?" And then if you want it to be fancy and like show your English skills, you can say, "Yes, you can start me off with a Coke." "Yes, you can start me off with a Coke." Or, "No, thank you, I'll just go ahead and order." Which means I don't want anything to drink. I don't want an appetizer. I want to order my food because I'm hungry. I want to eat now. "No, thank you. I'll just go ahead with my order." Something along those lines. That's how you would respond to that question. All right, the next question that we're going to go over is actually a question that you may have to say. Not the waiter, not the waitress, but you might have to ask this question. So have you ever been in a situation where you want to order a meal because the meal comes with just more food and it's at a cheaper price? Doesn't make sense, but it's more food and at a cheaper price. However, there's some things in the meal that you just don't like coleslaw. Today I ordered food for my kids. Nobody in my house likes coleslaw. If you don't know what coleslaw is, I'll try to throw up a picture here. Not a fan. It's not my forte. I don't really like it, and neither does anyone in my house. So I wanted to request to get a different side other than coleslaw. However, I could not because I ordered it online and it would not allow me, and I didn't feel like calling the restaurant. So I was like, whatever, we'll just get coleslaw and probably end up keeping it in the refrigerator for a couple days. Nobody's gonna eat it and then it'll be thrown away. That's how life works around here. But if I was at the restaurant, not ordering ahead online, I could simply ask the waiter or waitress if I could sub the coleslaw for another side, or for French fries, or for a salad, all right? Sub. So can I sub for Can I sub for That is the question that you may need to ask. So example, let's say you want extra French fries because you are hungry, but right now your meal comes with your steak, your French fries, and then some green beans, which are good and healthy. And yes, you should have some greenery on your plate. But again, you are very hungry. You want carbs. You want double the French fries. So you can say something like this. Can I sub the green beans for more French fries? Can I sub the green beans for more French fries? Now here, the word sub is just short for substitute. So it is an informal way of asking for you to change the side item. Now you could say the full word, substitute. Can I substitute the green beans for French fries? Yes, it sounds a little bit unnatural because when you're at a restaurant or a cafe, no matter how classy, it's kind of like this chill environment when you're talking to a waiter or waitress. You know, no matter if you're at a super fancy restaurant or McDonald's, you could say, can I sub the fries for a salad? And everybody will be fine. You don't have to say substitute. You can if you're feeling fancy, but you don't have to. So again, it just means to change a side item. So an example sentence of this is, I'll take the burger, but can I sub the fries for a salad? I'll take the burger, but can I sub the fries for a salad? So yes, you feel like a burger, you feel like being a little bit of a big back, which means you want to be a little fat today, you want to eat a burger, that's fine. You do you, but you don't want the French fries because you're like, whoa, I'm already eating a burger. I don't need the fries. That's going to be like 2,000 calories. Let me get a salad. It's all about balance. Literally yesterday, I got a salad and a side of fries because I was like, balance. I want the salad really bad, but those fries look delicious. Balance. So so far, we have, can I start you off with, and can I sub for all right. But again, I said we have 5 that we're going over today. That's just 2. So the next one is, it's on me. It's on me. It's on me. So this is just a casual and generous way of saying that you're going to pay for somebody's meal. So let's make a little scene here. You and your coworkers are going out to dinner or going out to lunch, and you want to treat or buy your coworker's meal. You want to treat them to a meal. Instead of saying like, it's my treat, which you can also say, that's another way to say this, it's my treat. Or instead of saying, I'll pay for you, you can simply say, it's on me. It's on me, which means I'll pay for your meal. I'll pay for your meal. It's on me. All right. So an example sentence of this is, don't worry about it. It's on me today. Don't worry about it. It's on me today. It's on me again just means that you are going to pay for someone else's meal. However, if the someone else says to you that it's on me, it means that they will be paying for your meal. I feel like I'm flip-flopping around a lot, but we have 2 people sitting down at a restaurant. They're talking, they're eating. One is you, one is your friend. Your friend says, hey, it's on me, which means your friend, not you, your friend is going to pay for your meal today. You don't have to pay. You can put your little wallet away. You don't have to pay for anything. They're going to pay. It's on me, meaning they will pay. If you say it's on me, your friend doesn't have to pay. You have to pay. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We are flying through these. Even though there's a lot, we're flying through them. All right. So the next one is something that if you have kids, you probably should memorize. Can we get a booth? Or can we have a booth? Can we get a booth? Question mark. Can we have a booth? Question mark. Or maybe if you want to be more proper, may we have a booth? The explanation behind this is that a booth is the cozy bench seatings at restaurants. So you're not sitting in a chair, you're sitting in like a little cushiony bench. That is a booth. So usually there's like a table and 2 cushioned benches, and that is called a booth. Now, you know, if you are a parent and you're watching this, that booths are elite at trapping your children in. One adult on one side, one adult on the other side, kids trapped. They cannot run away. They're there. So if you are traveling to the US or moving to the US with your children who are still quite young, you would want to ask, can we get a booth at a restaurant? Because chairs, not your friends, right? Chairs are great, not your friends when you're trying to keep your children contained and quiet at a restaurant. They like to lean back in their chair, they like to get up, they like to run around, they like to do everything, they like to jump. Like, it's crazy. So a booth is your friend. So you need to know how to ask how to get booth seating. Again, this is a booth. This picture right here, booth seating. So you can just say, can we get a booth, to your waiter or waitress? And if they have one available, they will probably seek pity on you and give you one, because they probably understand that you need it as a parent. And even if you're not a parent, even if you just want to be more comfortable in your seating, ask for a booth. Nobody cares. In America, we're chill like that. Like, most of the time, we're not going to care where you sit. If you want to sit in a chair or a booth, if it's available, have at it. You do you, whatever you want to do. So an example sentence of this is, would it be okay if we got a booth instead of a table? Would it be okay if we got a booth instead of a table? All right. Many learners don't know that there's different styles of seating at restaurants and cafes. One is a table, one is a booth, and then you have like bar seating. You have high top seating, which is like those very high tables. There's different types of seating arrangements. And this one, the booth, is the one that I just explained. This is probably the most commonly asked for type of seating, a booth. So the next one that we're gonna go over, sorry, we've already gone over 4. Can I start you off with, all right, can I sub the fries for a salad? It's on me. Can we get a booth? And the final one that we're gonna go over today is, we'll just grab and go. We'll just grab and go. Now, we'll just, you don't really need, but the grab and go part is important here, because there's a lot of different iterations that you can use for this. You can tell someone, oh, I'm just gonna grab and go. We'll just grab and go. I'm just grabbing and going. And there's probably a million other ways that you can say it, but when you hear the grab and go in that sentence, you should know that this is just a very casual way of saying that you're not going to stay at the restaurant and eat. You're not staying and dining in. You are grabbing your food and you are leaving. It's like to go or takeout. Grab and go. I'm gonna grab and go. I don't feel like eating there. I'm gonna grab it and go. Grab and go. So again, very casual, very native way of saying that you are not going to sit in the restaurant and eat. Grab and go. So an example sentence of this is, hey, we'll just grab and go. 2 coffees to go, please. All right. So you are in line, you're next in line. The cashier's like, hey, I'll take your order. And you're like, okay, hey, we're just gonna grab and go, which means I don't need you to put it in a little fancy coffee cup. I don't need to find a table. We're just gonna grab and go, and we'll have 2 coffees, please. So you're ordering as you're telling the cashier or the waiter, waitress, whoever it may be, that you're just grabbing and going. You're not staying. You don't love the establishment, but sorry, I have to go. We're just gonna grab and go. 2 coffees, please. Grab and go. So we've gone over a lot today. So I hope you guys know a lot more about ordering in English at restaurants and cafes now. You know, you had this one, you had part 1, and who knows, there's so much more that I could teach you, especially on this topic. We might have part 3 or even part 4 later. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video.